Hello and welcome to a condensed version of Technology Tuesday for August 2008. My name is James Moore and I'm going to be talking about the Livescribe Pulse Smartpen. Originally with the face-to-face presentation I split things into two parts. There was the slide demonstration which you're about to see, and then a longer live demonstration of the capabilities of the Smartpen. We don't have as much time to do that through this video version today, but hopefully I'll give you an idea of what the capabilities are. To begin with, the Livescribe Pulse Smartpen is a device that's sold currently at Target and Amazon. It retails for either $150 for the 1 gig version or $200 for the 2 gig version. You can go to Livescribe's website, which is livescribe.com, to discover more about the device. The company itself was founded by a gentleman by the name of Jim McGrath. He originally worked for Leapfrog, which provided a similar looking device but was designed for children. He left that company and founded Livescribe fairly recently. If you're to buy the pen, there's four basic elements within the package when you open the box. There's the pen itself, and then there's a headset microphone which you plug into the pen. The headset has two independent microphones, and this allows you to record in stereo with slightly greater fidelity than if you were to use the pen itself. The pen also has a docking station which connects to your USB drive, and then they give you one copy of the specialized journals that you can use with the pen. The pen itself has a couple of basic parts. On either side of the OLED display there are two microphones which pick up ambient sound. There's an audio jack at the end of the pen, and then midway down the pen there's a speaker that can play back anything that's recorded on the pen itself. And then underneath the nib you'll see a infrared camera which is able to record where the pen is on specialized dot paper. This dot paper looks a little bit like basically a map with a series of microdots. If you look very closely, there's a sequence of small little dots that allow the paper to work like GPS. The camera reads up the unique dot pattern and is able to triangulate where the pen is. Later this year, Livescribe intends to release a document that will allow you to print your own paper, providing you have a fairly high-end laser printer. The pen is also fairly clever in that the ink that's used doesn't reflect or cover up the dots on the specialized paper. Very clever idea indeed, I think. Currently the pen only works with the PC, but there is the promise that there will be a Mac client towards the end of 2008. However, if you're using Boot Camp on the Mac, you can definitely boot into Windows and use the pen. At present, I only consider two other devices as competing with the Livescribe pen. They are the IOGear Mobile Digital Scribe and Dane Electric's Z Pen or Z Pen. These two devices are pretty smart. They don't use the specialized dot paper that the Livescribe does. Instead, they have receivers that you affix to a pad. This has both an upside and a downside. The upside, obviously, is you don't need to use specialized paper. The downside is they aren't quite as accurate at recording data as the specialized dot paper. They retail for a little bit cheaper than the Livescribe pen. I think you can pick them up for about $100 each at the moment. However, they don't record audio in the same way that the Livescribe Pulse does. And you'll see later this has this is sort of basically a unique value proposition that the Livescribe pen offers. At the moment, we're pretty much in the early days of the pen. The pen was released earlier this year, And at the moment I think there's more potential for the pen than actual usable product. However, I think within the next couple of years you'll see that this is a very, very usable device and more students will be using this in the classroom. So what exactly does the pen do? Well, a couple of things. It digitizes what you write and draw, and it also records audio if required in the background, and it can take these two elements together and mix them into what's known as paper replay or a Pencast. There are a couple of demos that come with the pen that demonstrate how text could be translated between various languages. There's a basic calculator. The pen also has the ability to play music and play some very basic movies. The slightly sneaky or interesting marketing thing that this pen is doing is also providing a platform to sell other software. Later in the year, Livescribe will have a more comprehensive online store where you can purchase applications that you can load into the pen. Sort of similar to the way that iTunes is operating for the iPod. I do have an example of a Pencast or paper replay that you can view through the web. The URL at the bottom of the screen here is a little bit complicated to follow, but if you are viewing this video on my website, I have a direct link to this Pencast. So I mentioned earlier that the pen does have the ability through one of the demonstrations to translate between English and 4 languages. Those languages are Arabic, Spanish, Swedish, and Mandarin. However, the demonstration only translates a few words. The numbers 0 through 10, and then the words banana, beer, coffee, chocolate, hello, goodbye, please, thank you, and water. So all of your basic staples there. The pen also works as a calculator. If you have access to this printed display, which is on the specialized dot paper, you can tap the pen against the various buttons here, and the answer to your calculation will be displayed on the pen. From the academic perspective, there are probably some concerns on the use of this pen. It opened up some more avenues for surreptitious recording. Maybe this is a problem, but perhaps maybe not. It also has the ability to perhaps sneak a calculator into an exam, and perhaps students could preload answers to questions on their pens. Now all these factors obviously are fixed by preventing anyone from using such a pen in the classroom or such a pen in an exam situation. I think banning the pen from the classroom would be a bad idea. I think there is too much potential for this pen to preclude its use in the classroom. I think it's a very useful device for students who have difficulty making good notes or have difficulty sort of recording what is going on around them. I think it genuinely helps students, so it would be not a good idea to ban this from the classroom, but you definitely want to ban this, I think, from midterms and exams. The potential that I'm thinking of is this opens up new ways to test students in the online environment. It could be possible to send students exam papers using the specialized dot paper, and providing you can verify that the student is answering the exam questions themselves through perhaps a camera hookup, you could allow students to write their responses onto paper, and after docking the pen after the exam, their responses are immediately sent back to their instructors. You could also open up some very interesting ways of providing mobile learning or M-learning, where material is provided within a printed book that uses the dot pattern layout. Students could read material within the book. They could click on various elements on the page, which would then play back audio if audio had been preloaded to their pen. And then when posed with questions or opportunities for reflective learning, students could write into the books. Again, once they were to dock their pen, this information would be sent back to their instructors. I think this could be a fascinating way to provide new methods to learn in a completely mobile environment. hopefully over the next couple of years we'll see how well this plays out. If you are interested in pursuing more information about the Livescribe pen, here are 3 websites that I suggest. The first one is Livescribe itself, which I've mentioned earlier today, livescribe.com. There's also Penlets. This is a resource for the Pulse pen where you can download programs and add them to your Livescribe setup. It also has some fairly extensive recommendations for developers on this pen platform. And then the last website is Anoto. Anoto is the company that produces the dot patterns that are used on the specialized dot paper. They provide these patterns for other smart pens. There are other pens out there that provide a similar level of functionality to the Livescribe Pulse pen, but without the audio recording capabilities. What I'd like to do next is just give you a quick overview of how the pen works. The pen also has some basic translation ability. I'm going to write the word hello.
Hola.
Which has just been translated into Spanish, but we can try other languages. Such as Mandarin,
你好
Arabic,
مرحبا
and Swedish.
Hello.
And here I'm going to write the word goodbye.
Hej då.
The pen also has the ability to function as a piano.
Draw your piano. First, draw 9. Connect the lines on the top and bottom. Write the letter I. This is your instrument icon. Double tap when you're done. Write the letter R. This is your rhythm tracks icon.
So now we can play the piano.
Tap the keys to play. Vibraphone.
And we can play a cheesy little rhythm track in the background. And there we have it, a quick and somewhat cheesy demonstration of some of the pen's capabilities.